Broadcasting from coastal California to coastal North Carolina,
east to west, Pacific to Atlantic, nutrition to fitness.
iPickFit is here to deliver realistic, scientific, and sustainable resolutions to optimal total body health.
We are your hosts, Danny and Danielle Duravage, two experts united that will detox, repair, and revolutionize your life. iPickFit.
Hey everybody, welcome to the iPickFit podcast. You're here with your host,
Danny Duravage
and Danielle Duravage, and today we're going to talk about the Strength Trainer's Handbook. These are questions and strategies to optimize your workout. So we went through that endurance training, and now we're going to roll through the typical gym workout, but it doesn't have to be in the gym. It can be online or in all different ways or methods, but we're just going to say the typical gym. We're going to lift weights or our body weight, however you got to do it in a strength training mechanism. But we're going to tell you those benefits and how you can do that in the most efficient possible way. So are you ready to get stronger so you can feel good, move better, look leaner, and burn calories while doing nothing at all? Many people are, right. Many people are afraid to strength train for many reasons. But what we can do is encourage everyone to strength train. We are going to answer all these several common questions about strength training and nutrition for strength training so we can all efficiently reach our goals. So why is strength training so important and what is its purpose, Danny?
Well, great question. Our body is made up of all these muscles and can move a lot like a machine, that provides us with that ability to live. And, all our cells and tissues, they communicate, they talk to each other, so our body systems can all function together. So just like the, heart pumps the blood and delivers nutrients, and your intestines digest and absorb those nutrients, and then your kidneys clear the waste, and your lungs provide, you with oxygen, and our brain cells send signals to do all these processes, and then our muscles make it possible for our body to work efficiently. So our muscular skeletal system, provides us with that framework. So you got those bones, but then the muscles help those bones move, and support and provide that work that it needs for us to live. So strength training, is really going to be vital and can help us increase that efficiency that our body's able to work.
Yeah. So we're not just talking about bigger biceps here in the area of strength training, which that can be part of it, whatever your goal is. But strength training with a focus on building the best support network for our body and quality of life is truly its purpose. There are various ways to develop strength in our body. Muscular strength is the amount of force a muscle or muscle group can generate. Muscular power, which is the rate of performing work in the aspects of force and velocity. Muscular endurance is the ability to sustain and repeatedly develop maximal force through muscular contractions. So through strength training, we can manipulate all these three mechanisms and principles of strength training and match them with the human variation of the individuals so that we can reach the goals of every very different person. So individuals should focus on strength training twice a week, although the variation in type is dependent on the specificity of the unique individual. That is why a personal trainer can most effectively aid in reaching goals quicker, because we understand the depth and the principles to such these variations go. So definitely it's so important, and the purpose of it goes so far, and we're going to go into that throughout this program. But always remember that like every single human in nature, from even if people who have disabilities or in the aging population, even the youth, will benefit from some form of strength training involved.
100%.
So, do I have to lift heavy to get stronger? Not necessarily. But building the resistance slowly up can increase strength. Obviously, as you get stronger, lift a little bit heavier, but you don't have to go in the gym and like do an insanely heavy workout, like to the point where it's, especially if it's getting painful, don't go that far. But it isn't necessary to get strong. You can get stronger by you doing push-ups, burpees, body weight exercises, and still get stronger.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Danny, you want to take us away?
Yeah. So that that also kind of takes away with like the theme of, last week's endurance episode is really like, what is your goal here? If your goal is, just to keep your muscle, that's going to be different than if you're, when you're strength training versus if you want to become a bodybuilder, so if your purpose is just to keep your muscle, you can do a lot of your own lean body weight and just do, like Danielle said, like doing push-ups with your body weight, doing squats, like air squats and that kind of stuff. So yes, we want to lift some form of like resistance within, most training programs, and that's going to encourage your strength to grow and your efficiency. But we can do this even with our own body weight and, utilize all those different mechanisms. And like so Danielle, like you've taught me how to do like increase my strength by doing push-ups, like doing like a plank push-up and then holding it and doing all different kinds of different ways. And that is like, just like we've talked with like different lunges, doing a lunge in a different way, different direction can really change. So in the same way, doing different stuff with your body can really help increase all those little tiny muscles and your strength, because you're increasing the strength of all those little tiny muscles that you haven't used before.
Yeah. So like, just think of like a push-up, like if I tell you to go down slow and then stop, hold, and then go down slow again, stop, hold, and then go to the back up extremely fast. Like that's just a variation that you can add to your workout that can just manipulate different ways of strength, like a muscular endurance. Obviously, if I'm having you hold for a long period of time and hold the resistance and it's just your body weight, it doesn't even have to be a dumbbell, or I can even do it with a dumbbell. If I'm telling you to do dumbbell curls and I tell you to go really slow, now as fast as you can, when you're just going from flexion and extension, I'm still manipulating the resistance in a way that's going to make you stronger. Still without it could be just a very light dumbbell where I'm just like the eccentric contractions are being, I mean, I could get really like nerdy.
Yeah. And it's like
some words, but
that main one is really just as long as you're exhausting the muscle and increasing the weight as you get stronger. So, if you do 2-pound dumbbells at first and hold your arm and do like little arm circles, after a minute to do an arm circle, your arms are super tired even with those 2-pound weights.
Or even no weight.
Yeah.
Because we've done that where the palms are up, your arms are straight out, and we do mini circles. And I promise you, at a minute, your arms are burning.
Yeah. I remember doing those in high school, and I was just like, oh my gosh, these are the worst.
Yeah, for sure. And so that's the goal. We very much can. You do not have to lift heavy weights to get stronger. Ideally, there is some sort of resistance and a resistance training program. I mean, the efficiency may increase by like, you might get to your goal faster because you're using weights or something, but it isn't necessary to lift heavy unless maybe you're potentially in a bodybuilding program where you're trying to get that mass. So in that concept, you're more than likely going to have to, but like just for the everyday person trying to just get stronger, you do not have to.
Or to get
There's
that
other ways to do
beach
it.
bikini bod, like lean biceps and just like
you might get there faster with dumbbells, or like even just 5-10 pound dumbbells, putting that in there, but you don't have to do the traditional like what we see Arnold Schwarzenegger's books body workout. Like that isn't this. I mean, you can if that's your goal is to gain mass, but it's not necessary.
Yeah.
So a next question is, am I too old to strength train?
Old is a state of mind.
Old is a state of mind.
What are we talking about?
What am I, 7 years older than Danny?
Nah, state of mind.
34. I don't know. State of mind. Truth it. I don't feel any older than 22.
Exactly. But as you do get older, you maintain that active lifestyle, and the most important thing that we can do is encourage everybody to do it. There's that saying, use it or lose it, and you've got that neuromuscular system, and it's one of your most important responsive systems that strength training can help you develop it and maintain that lifestyle that you want to live. And there's a lot of people who never, traditionally lifted weights or performed in a traditional strength training plan, but live an active lifestyle and maintain that healthy life. So that problem happens when we become sedentary and we stop using our muscles. So,
yeah. Just like Danny said, like use it or lose it. So like when you get older, like pain sets in, whether that's arthritis or all different kinds of just variations of diseases or not that everybody ends up having a disease, but even like I have an old elbow, I had elbow surgery. So like I still get pain and nerve pain from the elbow and like overworking it and the injury. And I know it gets worse and worse as it will get worse and worse as I age. And like, I'm sure at one point it may be like, whoa, should I strength train? Is that going to cause more damage than good? But the reality is it's like strength training's going to bring more positive than anything. And even when we're talking like in the aging population, it does, just like we were saying before, you don't have to lift heavy weights to use strength training in your life. Like there's things you can do while sitting down. There, pushing your arms to the sky and moving your arms to the side. And like we said, arm circles, like marching your feet, like all kinds of different things that we can pull out that isn't scary to even elderly people,
Well, and there's even like a lot of resistance training that happens in yoga. So for like elderly people, like in their 70s, 80s, 90s, that age, if they're getting to the point where they have, either water weights, water aerobics, or doing, yoga where they've got some sort of resistance going on. Some people use bands as well.
Yeah.
And that's going to keep that flexibility, so it's like just talks about how everything amongst all age groups is needed to keep it going along.
Oh yeah. Even just taking a chair and doing 5 reps of stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. Like those are considered resistance training for like even for older people even. So it doesn't have to be what we think in our head, like, oh, I'm going to damage a muscle. I'm going to damage my body from exercise. Like if I go lift, bench press 150 million pounds or whatever it is, like that vision we have to kind of like throw away as we get older, because it can get scary, because like coming back from an injury takes a lot longer the older we get. So as we age, our body loses muscle mass because we often become inactive as we age. So that's what I was getting at. But elderly people can very well still increase strength by resistance training. The impact resistance training has on elderly people is huge because it benefits their quality of life longer. The biggest component of these benefits from resistance training is having the strength and coordination to avoid falls, which aids in avoiding, obviously, injuries. And falls are truly one of the major source of injury and debilitation, and can often very much lead to death, because let's say a 95-year-old woman breaks her hip, or man breaks their hips, they're bed rested for a long period of time, and to keep those muscles strong enough to create the support, a lot of times it can very much kill somebody at that age, because their body cannot come back. Like even the body's working so hard to heal that their immune system can potentially get suppressed too, because of it's all of its focus is on like curing the bones that might be broken, that it's not able to fight off other sickness.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then they can even, it can just be like they can fall, and then it can be cold season and they can get bronchitis, and it can lead to pneumonia, and then they've got so much fluid in their lungs, and that's what they essentially pass away from, and it all happened just from one little slip.
Yeah, absolutely. So like even balance exercises are super beneficial for elderly, like standing on one leg, even standing on one leg, holding onto the wall, like are little things that they can do. So women, children, men, and elderly all benefit from strength training gains. Even the percentages increase similarly based off like body weight and stuff from the starting point to the end point of a training program. So like you can see a 9-year-old doing strength training in their way, and then like whatever that plan is for a 9-year-old, and then an elderly person or a man or a female will get strength gains at a similar percentage rate, even though like their workout will be completely different, but they're still benefiting and getting stronger at the same like rate. If you saw it on a graph, they're, not exactly the same, but it's still moving at a same like rate.
Increase in progression. Yeah.
Increasing. Yeah. The progression's increasing. So even those who've never performed resistance training ever, even more so benefit a lot from early gains and the results are coming from learning how to efficiently produce force and maximal movement with very little weight. So like even somebody who's never worked out could lift a 2-pound dumbbell, or never had a resistance training workout, 2-pound dumbbell and going through a normal workout that a trainer could give them, and going through all the movement patterns, and they might even have a moment where like that rate is more so than other people because they've never done it for a period of time because it's never been done. So like their body's like instantly trying to like maneuver, and even it doesn't even matter the age, that person could even show a higher progression of strength because they've never done it before. And then it'll average out. Once the body gets used to it, it starts matching the other people. But just something to think about. I just thought it was interesting.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Someone who's never done it is still benefiting, and it has a rate of increase a little bit more when they've never done it before in the beginning. Yeah. So here's a good question, Danny. Will I get too big while strength training? Like,
I love this question.
Yeah, right.
I like definitely thought, I was like, oh my gosh, I could never go in and like lift weights, with the guys. I always grew up seeing Drew lift weights, and I always thought like, oh, I can't lift weights. I'm going to become like too bulky. And, but you really helped me to see like there's different types of strength exercises that can manipulate it so you're not going to get too big in a resistance program.
Yeah, most females in general are not going to get crazy bulky just by going in and doing a workout. Although if you try and go in there and try to get your 1 rep max every single time and try to progress in that way, that oftentimes will be the method to get bulky. You go do 2 reps of the heaviest thing you could possibly do. You're really going to break down that muscle very quickly. And the size can potentially pack on, but it's actually more difficult really to put on mass for everyone. So the training plan and the diet plan has to super match to even make it happen in general. So it's not even a dude going in the gym and doing a basic workout. He's not going to get this huge bulky muscle unless he's really trying, Drew was my husband was a bodybuilder before, a natural one. And he also has the genetics to do all of that. Pretty amazing. He used to bench 405 pounds. It was nothing. I mean, he doesn't now because obviously as you age, lifting in that level or degree isn't, what would you call it? Long-term effective.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure even Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't lifting the way he was when he was 30.
Yeah. Or even if you take a break, people who have, certain injuries or something like that, and then they stop lifting, even if it's a leg injury, their arms are still, if they're not working them out, their arms are going to get smaller. So in the same concept, even if you were to do all this to get up to a bodybuilder status, if you stop, and you're not maintaining your training, it's going to change.
Yeah, you'll lose it. You can get smaller pretty quick too, typically.
Yeah.
So there's one thing I want everyone to know is there are several different types of strength exercises we can manipulate so that one doesn't get too big in a resistance program. So if you ever if you're like me, that I hold on to bulk because of my background in gymnastics. So I would say I'm an expert at that, trying to get leaner muscles because I've had to really try really hard to make them leaner, even though it doesn't always maintain. I still kind of have these muscular arms, but there's only so far I can go. But I've definitely done it before. So I encourage a client to lift, lower weight. I can, depending on their goal and their body type and their past and everything in what sports they played and what their current body state is. But you can encourage a a client to lift lower weights really fast, I'm going to incorporate bands and stability, balance movement patterns as well. I may even have someone do a movement very slow with their own body weight. The reality is we can get stronger without even lifting weights, just like we said before. So therefore, we can also design strength training plans to match the goal of that individual, even if they don't want to get too big. So genetically, we're uniquely pre-positioned to get big or not too through exercise based on the type of muscular fibers we encompass pretty much at birth, even although we can still manipulate training mechanisms to surpass our genetic predisposition. But just like I'm pretty sure I have a lot of fast twitch muscle fibers, so I'm very explosive. A lot of gymnasts are explosive. I may or may not have been born that way, but because I was put into gymnastics so young, I got to kind of manipulate how my muscle fibers were developing. So it's kind of one of those things that can be like trained. Although if one fears getting too big, we can design the programs that aid in accomplishing those strength gains without massive muscular growth in size. And obviously the diet comes into play too. Like if you're not feeding the proteins like in a way to build the muscle, it's not really going to build the mass without it. So there's that too.
100%.
You know?
Yeah.
When you're talking about mass, it's a very important the way you eat when it comes to mass development.
Yeah, and when you're trying to gain mass, it's like it's different when you're just trying to get lean versus if you're trying to get mass. You know, like when you see all those like Marvel superhero movies and stuff, like those people, they had very rigid nutrition plans and exercise programs that helped them get where they got, you know, and how far they had to go, you know, like there's huge transformations, like
almost the amount of food that they eat like makes me feel sick. Like the amount of calories they have to eat to get that big, and then the calorie restriction to get ripped.
Yeah.
Too. Like both of them, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, like when Hugh Jackman did Wolverine, like I remember I was reading an article about it, and he was like saying how he got up at 3:00 in the morning and was like eating like an entire chicken, and he had an alarm set just so he could wake up and so that he was getting enough calories. And he was like, I would eat eggs, I would eat chicken, I would eat, you know, like all this different kind of stuff just to purely get in the calories that he needed before, because he was working out like 6 hours a day. Like calories. He's working out a lot.
Yeah. So like my main thing, like I really like people to get their proteins from like real food, ideally. And then like obviously supplementation comes into play at some point. But like if you can get it from food over like just a protein powder, like I feel like you're going to get there more effectively and efficiently, and it's going to last longer term. But like obviously like on those levels when you're having to take in 4,000 or 5,000 calories to get mass, like get big
and really quick too. They've only got like you know 5-6 months.
I mean, there's some serious PhD exercise trainers up in there. My brother has actually worked out with one of them that was the trainer for Bane and Batman.
Oh, no way. Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
Dixon done a few workouts with his trainer, and it's pretty crazy.
That's awesome.
Like he's like a true badass.
Yeah.
Can I say that? Badass. I think one of our episodes, like Joe cussed and put us on the E-list. Or not the E-list, the mature list.
Yeah, the mature list.
Saying like there's cuss words in this. It's not children friendly. So is badass a bad word? I don't know. I mean, if my kids say it, I'd be mad, I guess. But
yeah, I guess that's where you think of it.
So it's bad in my house, but it's explicit. E for explicit, not E for everyone. That's what it is. I was like, mature. It wasn't an M. Anyways, so
thinking of you know, other crazy lifters and stuff. So that's our next question. Do you have to lift weights to get stronger? So
I'd say in the area of getting huge muscular mass growth, more than likely you have to lift weights to reach that goal. Or heavy objects. You can lift cars, you can lift humans. I mean, there's other things you can lift.
There's like, you can flip those monster tires, you flip those, you like.
So you could say, wrong, you don't have to lift weights, you could lift rocks.
You can chop wood.
Go ahead and call me a liar. No.
Chop down a tree.
But yes, I would say in the area of massive, huge muscular mass growth, pretty much you're going to have to lift very, very, very heavy things. Although in the area of just getting stronger, think of a gymnast. In gymnastics, I never lift a weight. I know a lot has changed. Like they probably lift weights now, but I never had to lift weights, and I got mass and strength without weights. So we do a lot of things using our own body weight, speed, power, muscular endurance mechanisms. Wouldn't you agree that the amount of force a gymnast and the amount of velocity and power a gymnast can endure is pretty much incredible?
Oh yeah.
Like
Simone Biles is insane. Her amount of precision favorite. To go from, and just like all of her little flips and spins. I'm like, you are like a little, like very specific rocket.
She's like what would you call it? Something in space that like shoots like an asteroid powerful. Like literally asteroid on planet Earth. Asteroid on Earth. No, I love her. I think she's so beautiful, and I think she brings tears to my eyes sometimes when I watch her, because I'm just like watching her do something that's never been done before with precision and grace, and it's just insane. But think of how strong that little ball of fire is. Like, and I'm sure she's probably had trainers and lifted weights before potentially, but really they don't have to, because they're putting so much power and velocity into like the movement patterns and force that she's incredibly strong without having to.
Oh yeah. Like I could definitely see her karate kicking a stack of, wood and breaking it just like ninja status, I mean, those legs are strong.
Probably without any training. She's
yeah, right? Like so much strength.
She should be in a movie, like doing something. Oh, she should be the next like Marvel, or like we need a black girl superhero. I mean, she is the living black girl superhero. Yeah,
just her in real life. That's just her.
Or every girl's superhero. Yeah, it's not just for black girls. She's my superhero, and I'm a white girl.
Yeah.
So, anyways, not saying gymnasts don't benefit from lifting weights, but it isn't necessary for them to get stronger. So, professional strength trainers have the knowledge to build programs that can build strength in various different ways. So, weights may increase the efficiency and speed at which someone can reach a desired strength level. But the answer to the question, do I need weights to get stronger, is no. There's other ways to do it. So another question, do I need a gym membership to get stronger, Danny?
No. Nowhere. The world is your gym.
The world is your gym.
Exactly.
Trust me. Because as a mom and having 2 kids and a military husband and no family around when I was in Okinawa, Japan, I was not going to bring my baby to a dirty little gym, and I had to create my own workouts to make it work, and I did. Lost 75 pounds, and I did not need a gym membership. I had a stroller. I had a nice stroller, one of the most important mechanisms, and I wasn't always running fast, and I wasn't always running strong, but I was moving. Here we go.
You're not sitting on the couch.
With a lot of weight. No. I mean, once you have a baby, like if you're sitting on the couch, you're like falling asleep. Well, at least right after birth with nobody in there like helping you, you're just like, Daniel, here's the iPad. Let me just get one little wink. Maybe. Not that I ever neglected my child.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like, let me just doze for 2 seconds. And then you feel like you got a nap.
Yeah.
But anyways. So, as a personal trainer who created an online fitness program that has filmed numerous workouts utilizing no weights, that's me, I can assure you can get stronger anywhere you have space to do so. So, a gym membership may encourage you to stick to a fitness program and be convenient or provide you with the tools to get stronger. A gym membership is 100% not necessary to get stronger. So, now if your goal is to have massive muscular mass, like we said earlier, and these huge, massive gains, and you do not own the equipment to achieve such goal, then I might say you're now going to need a gym membership to accomplish that. But although if your goal is to just get stronger in general, we can find many other ways that can help someone reach their goals without a gym membership. Or just start, like my husband's even like taken like an old basketball, filled it with sand and made a like medicine ball. Yeah. And he's also done stuff where he like filled like this rubber thing. I don't even know what it was. It was I think it was like some kind of tire thing. Like he ordered this like $2 piece of rubber and put sand in it. And now it's like this weird bag that he like manipulates like unbalanced weight movement patterns kind of like, but heavier. And he would flip it over his back. And that was a weight technically.
Yeah.
And he like duct tape the ends and stuff. So like he would make stuff out of out of trash basically to like provide a weight.
And you got to replace your car tires some way. So if you play,
oh yeah, and my girlfriend is a huge tire that we've been flipping. I've been flipping tires with her. Like we try to change up the workout, so we go to the I sneak in the base gym, the human performance gym on base. I just told the world. I use my husband's email address, and they think I'm a Marine when I go in there, and I have a blast because they're like all like master degree trainers, and like I learned stuff from them. But anyways, and then I go to my girlfriend Niza's house on the beach, and she's got a huge like tractor tire that we flip. And so we'll like, she'll flip it 10 times, and then I'll be doing burpees, and then I'll flip it 10 times, and we'll sprint, and we just like change it up, and we have so much fun because she's like around my size. So, and we're like, I might be a little bit stronger in some ways, but girl's a Marine, so like clearly she can like make stuff happen. But we're similar in like size and like strength to where like we can share the same weights and workout stuff. And so it's great. She's a little bit shorter than me, but like when we do squats, like we can share the squat rack and like have different like cross training exercises around in the same movement or in the same area and just like go back and forth. Yeah. So that's really fun. But yeah, so you don't need a gym membership. Like we literally go for jogs. Like we try all different types of stuff to manipulate without having to go to a typical like Globo gym. You know, like that's like a nightmare to me, really. I don't want to work in one. I don't want to I don't want to own one. I do want to own a small gym, but I want it to be more niched out. Yeah. At some point in my life. But
you don't need that membership just to go get strong. You just need your imagination and the world. There you go.
If you like, and especially for things like, you know, your cousin Michael, as an air flight attendant, she would go to airport, and she just, some of them have like a little like area to work out, and she would take like even my workouts, take her little phone and go do my workout in the airport because it was convenient. She didn't have to carry dumbbells with her. She didn't have to like have all this equipment. She could just like go to a place that like was private or semi-private and work out. And she had a workout in her pocket, and it just like, and you could probably do that with any YouTube workout as well. Oh yeah. There's so much.
Or even if you just
online.
have like a PDF, you know, you just know exercises that you like and just jot them down.
Have them listed out, and it's like, boom. And then, so what's the most efficient way to get stronger? So depending on the specificity, I can't say that right. Welcome to Indiana. I'm from Indiana. I can't talk right. No. And now I live in North Carolina. Yeehaw. Right. We don't have cowboys really, but we got farmers. Here we go.
Love it.
I should just read this like that since I'm in the South.
Yeah. No way.
So depending on the specificity of the goal, like the lifestyle of the person across the fitness equipment and programs for increasing strength will depend on the person asking. I would say for me is performing a variety of different types of exercise through the week keeps me motivated to work out more often. And like I'll keep to it. Like I like to switch it up. But the best, most effective method I would prescribe to the general healthy population is to perform resistance training at least twice a week. So some form of resistance training. I don't care if it's body weight. I don't care if it's dumbbells. I don't care if it's like the typical gym, like
or resistance bands.
Or bands. There's so many different things. Flipping tires. And so while living a very active lifestyle and engaging in cardiovascular training, balance training, and flexibility training too, like I think those things are really important as well as lifting weights or resistance training. So to be the most efficient way, I definitely think you should incorporate a lot of different things. And if you don't use it, you'll lose it. So when it comes to strength, we have to keep using our muscles consistently. So if you can just think in your head, at least if I do this twice a week for the rest of my life, I can maintain my muscle mass. I can get a little bit stronger we can live a really good quality of life. So never forget that every single person benefits from some sort of strength training. Just the style of strength training and the level will be vastly different per individual. So always remember that remaining active can be the most efficient tool we can give ourselves so that we can live longer and stronger forever. Mm-hmm. So once we quit, then a lot of times it's a lot more work to get back to where we were. So the idea should be to just find a consistent way to incorporate some strength training in your life twice a week. And then always remember that your level may be very different than your best friend's level. So remember that when you start a program, so we can reduce the amount of potential for injuries. Mm-hmm. Don't just match yourself in your level to the person you're with. Like, find that partner. Like, me and Danny could probably go to the gym easily together. Me and my friend Niza can easily go to the gym together. But if I go to the gym with Drew and we're lifting on the same squat rack or even in my garage, I can't lift his weight, and it's really annoying, like pulling off all the weights that he has on there.
It's like almost a workout in itself.
It is, because there's like 45, and you're just like annoyed. Because I'm like, I just want some 25s on there or 35s on there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. For my comfortable like weights. But like, he is so much on there and like already frustrated. So try to find that person that's similar level. Like, taking a couple weights on and off isn't a big deal, but taking off, like for me, who's not lifting that much, I'm going to take 180 pounds off the stinking thing, just squat. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm already like irritated. So definitely find your buddy, your good little workout buddy to rock your workouts with, to keep you motivated. Mm-hmm. I definitely think that's an efficient way to 100%. Stick to it.
Yeah. And it is difficult when you are competitive. So watch for that too. Because I am very competitive, and my sister is like... Too. She is too, but she's got like incredible endurance. I think from being on track, and from like, now she goes to spin all the time too. And I like,
is she training it? Is she teaching it?
Oh no, not yet. She was thinking about it though. She wants to do it. My sister wants to, or our sister wants to become a spin instructor. So just for fun, she's like all in fashion and stuff, but she loves spin so much. She's like, I could be an instructor. We're like, yeah.
So I have a client right now, and she invited me to her spin class. And I have gone, rode a spin, done it in like a typical like 24-hour fitness or like a basic gym. But these people are on a whole new level. It was so fun.
Oh, yeah. That was the one you were talking about. It's got like lights.
It's just like the movie. What's that movie where she clips her feet in?
Oh, is it Trainwreck? Or no?
Yeah. So that same girl, whatever it was. But not that it bothered me, but I could see where people would be like, oh, my feet are stuck, and like think they're going to fall. But so it was like that. It was like serious.
Yeah.
And like, you have like dudes in there too, like rocking it, like they have a bike at home. Mm-hmm. And the music, they turn off the lights, and then the lights are going, and all like fun lights, like you're at like a club or something. Yeah. And then the music's like boom, 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 and you're just like dancing on the thing, but you're going fast. And then like, I went to one performance one, and one that was like called freestyle. So like, I had more like dancey stuff. And then one was a performance one. I took Drew actually on Sunday with Niza, and it was like, this side of the room is going to compete with that side of the room. You're team one, you're team two, and we're all like drenched in sweat, like pushing our little feet like as fast as we possibly can.
Yeah,
and then you had like a number on your bike, and then on the screen you could see your number, but nobody else knew your number. So, and it would, depending on like how like your level, because you can increase and decrease like your resistance, and then it would give you like a blue zone, a green zone, an orange zone, a red zone, and she'd be like, everybody in the red, go. And then we'd be like, like trying to get there. And there's this fun. And then she'd be like, I see 3 greens. And she doesn't know what bike. I mean, she might memorize the numbers, but I don't think she would like technically know what numbers you are. But it was just cool.
Yeah,
it was really cool because I had never experienced it that way, where like the whole crew, like 30 people on a bike, is like competing, like being able to be pushed a different way. And
that's so fun. That makes it like a way to be competitive, but not, and like take it away from just being, because a stationary bike to me can be so boring if you're just like in the gym,
like the only one on it. You're
Yeah.
the only one on it. You're next to a rower. Someone's running behind you, probably looking at your butt. And it's just like a mess.
You're just like,
But
I'm
in there,
over it.
like the lights are off. It's like a party.
It's like cosmic bowling.
Everyone's drenched. Like it's like a crazy where like you're just like soaking wet from sweat. Like how did that even happen?
Yeah.
Now I know where the fans are in there. But it is expensive. It's like $20 every time you go.
Yeah.
And we're in North Carolina, so everything's usually half off. So that would be like $40 in California.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I definitely saw one. I want to say it was like 50 per. I think it might have been like 20 your first time and then 50 for every time after that. And then if you wanted like a month pass, it was like 150. Yeah.
It was free my first time.
Oh, that's nice.
And 20 times per thing. But I'm like, man, if you went 10 times, that's $200 in a month.
Yeah.
Might as well hire me and Danny as your trainer.
I'm
and
like,
health
what
coach.
I could do with $200 a month.
I'm like, hey, we'll hit your goals.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
I'll help you out.
Right? So what if I don't have equipment, a gym membership, and I have no time? Can I still get stronger? The issue here is a planning malfunction, believing we can do it first and foremost, and the desire to prioritize the need to get stronger, maintain strength, and sustain an active lifestyle. So when you say, I have no time, I can't do it, can I still get stronger? Well, we got to find that time. Then we got to make you believe that you can.
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't need the equipment and the gym membership if you find somebody who knows how to like make the workout for you in the training plan.
Yeah. And if you have, if you have something that you're excited to do, you will find the time. Trust me.
Or if you need it, if somebody's like, you need to get stronger. Like this is something you need to do for yourself, for your health, for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You need to prioritize it.
Yeah.
Like you should put that as an important thing. Or even if you're like, hey, I'm going to start with walking twice a week and then I'm going to get to like the strength part. Like do it.
Mm-hmm.
You deserve it. You deserve to be strong for a long period, forever.
Yeah.
Like it's hard for me to sometimes encourage my mom because like she's got scoliosis and she smoked her whole life. She still kind of smokes. And it's like, Mom, stop being afraid to work out because the older you get, the more you're going to like have strength problems. Like you're going to need people to help you more and more and more and things that eventually you don't want anyone to help you with. Like if you don't keep an active lifestyle, it's only going to get worse. So I'm like, come on, Mom, jump in on the bandwagon. We can find something for you. Prioritize it,
Yeah.
So we don't need it. Yeah, you're going to be tired. Yeah. We all tired.
Exactly.
Everybody's tired. Danny's tired and she's 28 years old and doesn't have kids yet. And she works all the time. But
yeah,
that's why she's tired. She has reasons to be tired. But like, she's still going to do it. She's going to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do not need a gym membership. We don't need equipment, and we can find time if we prioritize the importance to the longevity of our lives. So you're too tired. Everyone's too tired. Therefore, we need to dissect our daily lifestyle and create the time before our time runs out. Mm-hmm. The older we get, the more we hurt, the more we don't want to work out. So, and the more we are not active, the more we allow space for pain and disease to set in. So the excuses are going to be there in every facet of our life, but the motivation and the desire to be healthy is what we can call what we all need to nurture. Mm-hmm. So even our friends, families, communities, towns, cities, states, and countries should encourage everyone to find a way to get stronger, both mentally and physically. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right? Like sometimes it's that mental strength when you're saying, like when we're saying, you don't have the desire to work out, or I've never done it before, the fears, all the things that engulf us as to why we shouldn't prioritize it, or why we're, sometimes you're like, I'm a mom, I have to put my kids first, or it's so easy to put yourself on the back burner when it comes to this. But like the more we shift away from like nurturing each other in it, the more like sometimes maybe it's like, your spouse or your significant other needs to come home and say, hey, it's okay, go to the gym, or go to the gym, or go work out, or go in your room. You don't have to go to the gym. Like go be by yourself for 45 minutes and go do a workout and feel better. Like give you the time. Like sometimes we can just say, I need to cook dinner, I need to do laundry, I need to clean out my car, I need to, you find all the other things that you need to do, but we should put this as one of the top priorities in our life. Top 5, like working out or strength training.
Yeah. I mean, it makes so much sense. Like if you're not able, like if you put your kids first, which I understand, like as that there can be such a thing, you know, such a maternal thing to want to put your kids first. But it's like if you can't be there physically, you know, like if you aren't able to, so you fall and you hurt yourself because you didn't have the muscular or the stability to, you know, catch yourself when you were about to fall, then guess what? What happens if you fall and you become paralyzed and then you can't be there for your kids? You know?
Yeah. Or even just like any injury, like, okay, now you broke your ankle. Like if I were to break my ankle or leg when Drew was gone in Okinawa and I lived far away from the base, I would have had nobody to help me. Like I would have had to literally be nursing a baby through like trying to get a cast on my leg. And then how are you going to shower? And so like staying strong and you know, and I'm not saying go strength train to the point of like where you can't take care of your kids. I'm saying give yourself 30 minutes to like go do some push-ups and sit-ups and planks and burpees and like whatever you can do.
Yeah. During
in
nap
the
time.
moment. Yeah, during nap. I mean, that's when I worked out nap time or with them. I was like, here, put them in the baby care. We're squatting. Like toe raises. Yay. Like dumbbell curls here. And it was all over the place. Like,
oh, yeah. I remember when Daniel was a little bowling ball and it was like, all right, we're going to do squats and I'm lifting you in the air. And we're going to do squats and you're going in the air. And
he was such Daniel.
Oh, he loved it.
25 pounds at 5 months. So he was just like, he couldn't even like hardly sit by himself yet. And he's just like this blob of like weight. And it was pretty awesome because you could.
And I'm like, all right, I am now
working out.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm a human roller coaster ride over here.
Yeah. Daniel, you're my resistance today. Let's work out.
Yep.
So yeah, here we are. So it is our responsibility to live stronger, live longer, and to take control of our health for ourselves and the people we love. So whether it's for you or for them, sometimes I have to even just tell my husband, go in the garage, ride your bike. You can do it. Go. It's right there. And it's something he actually really loves to do. So it's like, because my husband has a bike trainer and he likes cycling, even though he's not built like a cyclist, he's built like a bodybuilder, but he loves cycling. He's like totally nerds out on it. And I kind of think it's really cute. So I'm like, I mean, because it's such a like sport. Nobody's like, yeah, cycling. Yeah, I'm the biggest, baddest mofo in the house. I'm cycling.
But there's Armstrong.
But it's good. Well,
yeah.
Well, is that a good thing or bad thing? He's a cheater. No. But no, I wouldn't say he's a cheater because even with steroids, that guy smoked them. Like, was a badass.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say badass all this episode since I already started it. And they're going to give me an E.
Give us the E.
Explicit.
It's fine.
We're so gangster, Danny. I feel like the podcast gets gangster if you have an E on it. You know?
Like, oh, they're dangerous.
Danny are like, police. Well,
a couple of white girls.
I don't know. If you saw me in 3rd or 4th grade, you probably thought I'd be gangster. Because I lived in Indianapolis. I had like Michael Jordan's. And like me, I would just copy my older brothers. They had Jordans, I had Jordans. Like they had jerseys, I had jerseys. Like whatever.
Chilling.
So I was definitely gangster as a 3rd grader. And then my parents moved me to farm town with daisies and kids. And I was like, what is this? It was like a whole nother culture. Getting in fights off the bus to there is no bus. And I'm walking to school and it's safe. And what is this? I was like shocking for me.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's what we clearly needed. Yeah. Go from the hood to the little farm town over here.
Yeah.
But anyways, so why is strength training so important for the aging population? So we kind of already went over this, but I just like want to reiterate it. Here's the deal. We're all aging right now, no matter what point in your life. Everybody's aging. Even if you're 5, you're getting older. So today, even our children's health is rapidly declining. So if we look at like the health of our youth, it's pretty sad even from when I was a kid, and then my generation, then Danny's generation, and then my son's generation. Like there was probably 1 or 2 chubby kids in my grade. There was probably a little more for you. And now like we're in well, we're in North Carolina now, so we're kind of in a place not to hate because I love you all. I love your biscuits. Like, come on. I mean, there's biscuits everywhere. So clearly, I mean, that's one thing. I know, right? Who doesn't love a good biscuit, homemade biscuit? But like the babies, man, they're getting like,
well, and like
these
33% of Americans have diabetes, like, and a lot of those are kids.
Are getting it, and it's so sad. I just want to snatch them up, and like I went to Myrtle Beach, and I went to like a theme park. I went with Danny, but I also went with, again, like a month later, because in the winter it's like the best because it's super cheap to go to these like really beautiful, great condos with water slides and stuff. So I was like, let's go. It's only an hour and a half away. So we go, and there's this 13-year-old boy who was just like morbidly obese, and I was just like, I just want to snatch him up and take him home with me for like a couple months and just like completely change their life. Mm-hmm. Like I have this like super goal to like just be like, hey, can I just take a month or two of summer and like he can hang with us and eat like us, and I just want to show him the way of life, you know, how to live a healthy life, and it could change his life forever. Like imagine 60 days would just like, you could totally turn him around. I just have this like secret desire to do that at some point in my life, because it's like when they're younger, you can kind of like get in there, you know, and they don't have the same you know, daily, like you can still like work in there and like get their lifestyle change in a way that could stick, you know, to the kids, because you can teach them why, and ththey adapt to it, and they haven't been doing it for 20, 30, 40 years of eating, you know, a certain way. They're still like able to like learn, and they really want to learn, and some of the things they did, they have no idea that was, you know, causing an effect on their body and their health. So, you know, I just have that secret little desire, but because me and these kids. So I feel bad because sometimes it's not even their fault. Sometimes it's not even the parents' fault. Sometimes because it's like that's what they, you know, when you don't have a lot of money, or you're in a poverty situation, you're eating a lot of carbohydrates and junk and ramen and snacks and sugary foods. So it's not always their fault or even their parents' fault for the ability to afford it.
And if you live in a not safe neighborhood, you're not going outside and ride your bike, you know?
No, but we can do a workout in the bathroom. Don't make me do a video. Like, I will post a whole workout in my probably the size of my body in 5 feet, 5 by 5 feet.
That's
I'm 5'4", so 5. Like, give me that space. I'll watch. Watch. You're gonna ask. Watch.
That's true.
Okay. So the focus point is here. We need to encourage all populations to increase strength and health from day one. Learning how to prioritize the strength and health in our lives so that we can age and we don't die younger than we should have, and we don't want to increase the cancer possibilities and we want to decrease the obesity rates. And so to honestly feel good for all of our lives. So imagine if we all just ate healthy, worked out daily, and engaged in an active lifestyle from the moment we were born and never ever stopped. What do you think would happen in our lives? We'd be able to just move and groove and do all the things that we needed to do very efficiently, as long as we kept up with it. So imagine if we didn't let our excuses keep us from feeling healthy and strong. So do you know what it would do for us for the long term if we always, no matter what, focus on being healthy and strong? So think of all the pain and suffering that would be diminished if only we could all prioritize such healthy lifestyles into our lives. Strength training is so important for everyone, including the aging population. So because we are all aging, find an active older individual and ask them how they did it and practice what they preach. Because I always like to ask an older person, like, yo, you're 100. How'd you do it? Like, I want to live to 100 years old. Like, did you work out every day, or were you just busy? Did you garden? Did you mow the grass? Like, there's so many ways to be active. Like, literally mowing the grass and gardening is considered, an active lifestyle. So did you go for walks every day? Did you meet with friends? Like, because I feel like our lifestyles are so busy today, like in our world now, than even when when I was growing up, there was so much more like active play outsides, especially in California, because a lot of places are not safe to just go run. Like if I'm at your mom's house, I can't just like, go ahead, kids, go play. Like I have to be involved in it, which is fine. But like where I am now, my son can walk literally to the cul-de-sac, like down the street to the stop sign and around the corner, and I don't have to see him, and I'm not worried about his safety.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm still kind of like keeping an eye, but like.
But there's always at least one or two moms that are also out there. So it's like you kind of have
100%.
vantage points from all parts of your neighborhood. So
yeah, but they're just, I mean, there's a police officer who lives in here. We have military. So like we have this huge, like we all have an awesome communities, like Danny said, but like they can just run and play like without even, like at 4:00, like Daniel gets 30 minutes of like screen time when he comes home from school. And then by 4:00, they're outside until the sun starts to go down every day, even in the winter. So like, that's just kind of like, so that's living an active life. They're running, they're playing, they're climbing trees, they're jumping on the trampoline, they're boom, boom, boom. So I'm trying to encourage that. So even as we age and as we're older, like we have to continue that in our lifestyles because lives are getting so busy. We work all day. Then we're just trying to get in the groove of like taking care of the house and taking care of all the bills and the list goes on. It's never ending of all the things we need to do. But 30 minutes, we can figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's grab a friend, let's go for a walk for 30 minutes. It's still going to benefit being active. Yeah. It may not be strength exercise, but it's still something to get the body moving.
Yeah.
So now we're going to roll into this nutrition point.
What?
Boom, boom, boom. Take us away, Danny.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring up like a couple of things before we get into the questions. So the main thing that people are going to associate with strength training is protein. So we're just going to cut to it and talk about amino acids. So that's proteins broken down are built, they're built out of different types of amino acids. There's 20 of them. They have a basic structure. And then there's like one side that looks different. That's what in all things, they have a main structure. That's why we need them. All those different little side chains that are different. That's what's going to dictate kind of like what jobs that they do. There's of the 20, there's 9 that our body doesn't make. So they need to come from our diet. So of those 9, there's some that are like branch chain, which just means that they've got like a different kind of a chain on the end. And then there's just like a straight chain one. So those 9 need to come from your diet. So when they say like it's an essential amino acid, that's what it means. It's something that needs to come from your diet. So, the fuel that's going to come from for your like resistance or strength training that you're going to need is like on a base level you're going to have something similar to like how you are when we did like endurance training, when we talked about that, you want like that high quality carb. So 1 to 4 grams of carbohydrates per kilogram of your body weight. So kilograms are different than your pounds. So because everybody else uses the metric system and we don't, so we like to use pounds, but everybody else uses kilograms. It's essentially divide your body weight by 2.2, and that's your kilograms, just if you're curious. But you want to have a high quality carb, like 1 to 4 grams of carbs per kilogram of body weight, 20 to 30 grams of lean protein, low fiber and fat 2 to 4 hours before. So like that's your like bigger meal before your strength training, because you don't want to have like a big stomach ache and stuff, right? And then 30 minutes to an hour before, you'll have that like high carb, moderate protein, and low fiber, because you want to be able to like to get everything that's going to be to support your energy for your workout, right? During your workout, it's not going to be as important. It's closer to like endurance training. The reason why it's more important is because you're typically going to have longer workouts when you're endurance training. But when you're strength training, you really could apply it. So just like how we talked about, Hugh Jackman had that like 6 hour long, like, 3, 4, 5, 6 hour long workouts. They're going to need something that's going to be fueling them, right? But if you're sticking around an hour and a half in the gym, which most people are that aren't like training to be the next Mr. Olympia, like
you don't need to.
They don't need it. But if you are, then you're going to want something like 30 to 60 grams of carb. And that's going to be like in a liquid form, because your body's going to want to digest it and quicker.
You don't want cramps.
No. So like if it's in a drink form, or something else that's going to be able to
get you that quick energy source from the food,
Yeah. And then when you have your post-workout, that's going to be, you're going to have 1 to 1.2 grams of carbs per kilogram body weight, another 20 to 30 grams of protein. And you want that like right away. Like this is when it's most critical for timing. If you want it to be more effective. Again, it depends on your goals, but with, when you're trying to build that muscle, that's when, it's going to be, you want those like quality carbs and proteins really soon after your workout. So like 15 to 30 minutes after your workout. So like as you're leaving the gym pretty much.
Yeah. So have it ready. A lot of times gyms will have like muscle milk or different kind of like stuff like right there readily available to like just grab and go. So have it like know what you're going to do, like, or even a protein bar. I mean, this is all dependent on the goal of like what the individual wants. So someone who's just going, like you said, like going to the gym for an hour and a half, like replacing those protein stores may not be like critical component to the goal. But definitely like if you're bodybuilding or trying to like super get strength, like that's a huge like, we're like my main focus, like you're going to want to replace the protein quickly so you can grow more efficient. I mean, the efficiency is going to play into effect for everyone probably, but
yeah. And a lot of people like that 15 to 30 minutes, that's your drive home from the gym. So, there's like even water bottles where you can have that bottom, like a bottom compartment where you can put your powder and stuff in and add it to your water as you're like leaving. But like Danielle said, like it's really just dependent on your goals and stuff. And then protein stores, was like another thing that a lot of people tend to think of when they think of strength training is like, oh, I'm going to need a mass amount of protein. It depends on your goals. Like for me, I'm generally like a pretty lean person nowadays. Getting an accurate or an adequate amount of protein like most people would need. Just so that you're not like muscle wasting just in your everyday. It's going to be like 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. If like, say I'm in like a bulking stage, like I want to get big, 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So like 2.2, that's the higher end. That's going to be the same amount of pounds that you are. So, say I'm 150 pounds, I want 150 grams of protein in a day max. And that's going to be divided equally throughout the day. And the reason why that's going to be closer to your max is going to be like, because your body is only going to be able to absorb so much.
Yeah.
So, but we need these amino acids to help build and repair our tissues, because they're the building blocks of our bones, our muscle, our skin, cartilage, bones, and blood, and they make enzymes and hormones, so they're extremely vital, and you obviously want to make sure that you get enough of them. So now that we've talked about like, yes, we need protein and carbs and fuel whenever we're doing anything, whether it's strength training, whether it's endurance training, we need fuel, right? Our bodies need fuel.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So how am I supposed to eat for getting stronger? So here's the deal. That's main thing here is your goal, right? So when an individual wants to gain muscle mass, that primary focus is going to be on your protein. So when we're talking about sport performance and gains in athletes, that percentage is going to, be different, right? And we also play with diets the same way that we play with the types of exercise, right? So like the numbers that I threw out earlier, if you want to start with those and then see how you feel, right? Like if you're getting stomach cramps on your workouts, then try spacing your meals out a little bit further beyond it. Like if you ate 30 minutes before your workout and you got a stomach cramp, try eating like an hour before. And just play with that, play with the types of exercises, and in order to meet the variations and your goals and your timing, like if you're going for just an overall health and wellness in your life, then obviously you're not going to want to have stomach cramps and stuff too. And then versus, with your height and your weight, and so much more goes into play when prescribing particular diets. That's where these numbers are really just guidelines, guys. Like it's just overall basic stuff. So for the general population, when we're eating balanced diets, it's full of optimal, nutrient dense foods. Anyone's going to have nutrients necessary to get stronger, right? We all need that fuel. And, when we're putting focus on sport performance, carbs are going to be the main foundation of that energy source. So now that we're talking about mass, that's when we focus on that higher protein intakes and your timing, especially. And then when we're talking about the average person trying to get a stronger balance, will likely, be earning progressive strength gains.
Yeah. So ask the question, is a high protein diet the best way to get stronger? So consuming protein is definitely necessary to get stronger. So although a diet consisting of extremely high levels of proteins has been proven not to necessarily Is a high protein diet the best way to get stronger? Consuming protein is necessary to get stronger, although a diet consisting of extremely high levels of proteins has been proven not to be necessarily necessary for performance and strength gains. So even a diet consistent of 15% of proteins can still yield strength gains in athletes focusing on sport performance. It is the carbohydrates that give us enough energy to perform the muscular work. So it is the proteins that come in the repair and aid in other body processes part of the diet for the athletes or the person exercising. Athletes are also consuming higher caloric diets, therefore there are more readily available proteins that can be used. So an athlete may not need to double up the amount of protein in their diet because their diet is consuming way more calories in general. So the percentage of macros is still around 15% oftentimes because they need the carbohydrates for the energy to perform their explosive exercise. So when you're comparing the general population to somebody who's like a super athlete or a collegiate athlete, let's just say like the percentages may be shifting different ways. So like what you're reading in one book could be directed towards one style of person, and what you're reading in another, what me and Danny are saying might be direct. We're trying to give you a very like broad, like general population kind of thing. And then I'll throw in some athletes just to put things in perspective. But the reality is like these numbers will change. It's a trial and error thing, but definitely like pretty much in the average diet, like you're getting enough proteins to get strength gains, unless you're like, I am trying to bulk mass or I am trying to like increase like significant performance. But I mean, there are studies saying like just because you're consuming, if you consume 40% protein, like your performance may not be just all of a sudden better because you have 40% proteins and you're lacking in carbs and the fats. So it's like kind of the thing we have to work with. So when it comes to the general population who are trying to just get stronger now, we're not talking about weight loss. I was just saying that as long as you're eating a sufficient daily recommended dose of proteins, you will still have enough to get stronger.
Yeah, 100%. And, like on that same note, a question that comes up is like, what should I eat before strength training? That's what's going to be fueling your strength training. So when we talk about, high protein or protein in your diet. So when you want to think about before strength training, getting 200 to 500 calories before an intense strength training is going to help provide someone with the proper energy to perform the workout most efficiently. So we eat before to provide us that energy. We keep performing this strength exercise so that we have the power to do it and keep going. So thinking of fueling as preparing the body for work that's going to be performed in the workout. So if you're doing, low intensity workout, a normal breakfast is going to be just okay. Although if you're going to be, exploding in strength exercises, like jumping and all those types of things, with everything that you've got, a high carbohydrate breakfast is going to, with a little bit more protein, should be your focus.
Yeah. So should I eat anything during strength training? So we kind of talked a little bit about that, but the reality is like when it comes to strength training, eating during isn't usually necessary unless just like Danny said, unless you're reaching like that 2, 4, 6 hour mark, you might have to replace some proteins because if you're doing explosive exercise for that long period of time, your body's going to want to start like recovering. But the focal point for most people should be on having enough carbohydrates to perform the exercise before the exercise and having enough hydration fluid intake before, during, and after the exercise. So eating during strength training could develop muscular cramps, intestinal discomfort, and fatigue and start digesting food. So drinking electrolyte-filled sports drink could help aid in having more energy to perform longer, faster, and more power potentially. So in general, it is not necessary to consume like food during a strength training activity unless it's going to the duration is getting really high, like 2, 4, 6 hours.
Yeah. Especially with like, think about a football athlete, you know, those are going to be the people that are going to be putting in those advertisements for like Gatorade and those types of sport performances. You know, there's a reason why. It's because they're on the field for like 3 hours long. Their training is going to be similarly linked to it, you know, so that's why they're drinking Gatorade during it. They're not just like lounging around drinking Gatorade. It's like, no, I am like sprinting back and forth and hitting and using all of my strength that I can. And that's why I do.
So that's probably a good perspective. So if you think of, you just reminded me of something. If you think of an NFL football player or even a college football player, those are going 4 hours. Mm-hmm. They're going to have Gatorade during that first, 2 hours. And during halftime, they're going to go eat and replace all of those protein things. And they probably even have protein bars on the side, like I'm sure. But like when they go to halftime, they're gonna go replace and repair eat protein and repair everything. So before they go back out on the field, so that's like something you could say.
Yeah,
like,
but then it's like, but then think about that type of workout.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Oh yeah,
that level.
Like
you know, you're not just like,
anaerobic.
Oh yeah, I'm thirsty right now. What am I gonna have? Okay, I'm gonna drink an entire Gatorade and then just chill and not do anything.
Oh yeah, they're not drinking. That's one thing we should never do. It's just like drink Gatorade for fun. Like with my kids, I'm like, if you're doing a sport activity, you can have some Gatorade. Or if you're running around and being very active, you're at Disneyland, you're in the sun, you're at the beach, like, sure, have a Gatorade, whatever. But it's kind of interesting that people go to the gas station and all of a sudden they think Gatorade's health, because Gatorade technically would probably be healthier than a soda. They're like, I'm being good, right? I'm healthy. Grabbing a Gatorade. And I'm like, Gatorade's for sports or working out or strength training.
You got an 8-hour car ride that you're sitting in.
Or hiking, or where you're wanting to replace a carbohydrate, really. It is not for fun. And like Powerades and like next to a soda machine. It's like, what are you guys doing? Should be water.
Yeah.
Can we just have like infused water options, like with the cucumbers and lemons and limes?
Yeah.
Strawberries.
That'd be perfect. I would love that.
So our kids don't explode. Just kidding. My kids have had fun drinks too, but like just not on the daily grind.
Yeah.
So what
should we eat after strength training? So, thinking about why you're fueling up for it, you got to replace everything that you just used, right? So carb-rich, protein-rich foods are focused when consuming food after an intense workout. We need to replace those energy stores through carbs, and we need to eat proteins to repair our muscles post-workout. So the main macronutrient that's going to be depleted are carbs, but the muscles are going to be repaired, right? Because when you're strength training, you're using those muscles, you're breaking them down, so you got to build them back up, right? And that's how you essentially think of like your workout opens them up, and then you're fueling them and putting stuff back in them, and that's how you build them, right? So the muscle repairs efficiency is going to come from those proteins, and the fat's going to aid in both like a little bit of energy and support in both nutrient efficiency. It's going to help drive those, just like I've said before, just like a little boat. It's going to help carry all those nutrients to all your cells. Carbs, proteins, fats, all of them. There's a reason why they're called macronutrients, because we need a lot of them. I should say all of our calories, most of them are going to come from those. And, we need them for all of the efficiency for our body processes we want inside, and each one of them is going to play an important job to do. And we truly do need all of them to be all around healthy. There we go.
Yes.
Stress that.
So next, fluids, are fluids important before strength training? Just so everyone knows, fluids are important for everyone. So I'm sure you just laughed at this question, but absolutely, fluids are very important, not only before, but during and after. So before exercise, we are preparing the body with fluids so that we can perform our exercise most efficiently. So water is a vital nutrient for our body, and we need it. We can't live without it. We need it consistently, and we need it constantly, forever and always. So just focus on that. So dehydration, if you're not having enough fluids in your body, dehydration can occur, and a lot of bad things come from dehydration. So that will decrease performance, decrease your bodily functions, increase injury and sickness. Fluids are even more important than carbohydrates when it comes to exercise. So just drink it. I don't say more important, but so just drink it.
Yes.
So just do it. Just drink it.
Exactly.
Whatever. You got it all day, every day for the rest of your life. Make sure it's clean.
Just do
That
it.
is that.
So, and then are they important during strength training? So we can lose so much fluid. Just like when you think of your sweating, you are losing that fluid. So during, our bodies can't live long without it. Replacing fluid constantly throughout the day is important for everybody to be healthy, not just people who are working out. So fluids, even more important when we are working out, because we need it all the time. So we definitely need it when we're working out, because we deplete our bodies so quickly. And, we got to take those water breaks, carrying our own water bottles with us, and keeping the focus on proper fluid intake will support necessary fluid intake. So, and remember, it's important before, during, and after. And, I've said before, like if you're drinking water, before and after, and you don't have to go to the bathroom, in over an hour, you're dehydrated. You need some more.
Yeah. If you don't want to go to the hospital, start drinking that water.
Do it.
So just drink it. No, are fluids important after strength training? So like we said, it's important before, during, and after. But if you sweat like a boss during your workout, it must be replaced. Those fluids straight after the workout, like so important. You're going to feel your heart pumping heavy. Your face gets hot if you don't get the water in there. So drinking more fluids than usual on a hard workout day and keeping drinks and fluids after will help it efficiently reach strength goals. So one who is fluid depleted cannot deliver nutrients efficiently throughout the body, and fatigue will set in, and it will set in fast. So muscular soreness can increase when fluid are depleted, and the ability to go hard again the next time will be diminished. So if you're trying to, especially when you're trying to build mass and like huge muscles, you have to keep your body hydrated, because it's not going to be able to deliver that protein efficiently to those muscles to repair it if you have no fluid in your body, if you are depleted. So overall health is the focus. So replace that fluid indefinitely throughout the day, and most importantly, post-workout. I don't want to say it's most important, but I'm just saying, like, keep going, because like after that workout, like if you got minimal time to really replace that fluid so your body could be like efficiently hydrated. Mm-hmm. So the minute, what do they say? There's like a saying, when you feel thirsty, you're already like dehydrated. Mm-hmm. Like the feeling of thirst is considered like already dehydrated. So like,
oh, yeah, because it takes a second, just like how when you're a little bit full and your brain doesn't realize it yet, and then if you eat past that point, then you feel overfull. It takes a while for your belly to tell your brain that you're full. So same sentence.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a while for your body to tell your brain that you're thirsty, which tells your mouth, to do all different
to get
kinds
any
of
reaction. Yeah. So here we go.
all kinds of stuff. So what should I focus on when choosing foods that help efficiently increase my quality of strength? So quality and nutrient-dense foods that yield a balance of nutrients are going to help you efficiently increase the quality of strength, right? So you're only as good as the fuel that you put in your tank, right? So keep feeding those muscles with the quality proteins, eat healthy fats, eat healthy carbs for energy. Don't eat a donut to increase your performance. It ain't going to happen. You're going to get that crash, and it's going to happen before you even get the energy to perform any sort of strength training. So fruits, veggies, rice, quinoa, potatoes, all great nutrient sources. The most natural of the food source, the more quality of nutrients you're going to get. A good thing to think about too is that, like, having, quality food versus having a supplement, you don't need just that nutrient. There's a reason why our bodies naturally need fruits and vegetables, because there's so many different types of things that you're going to get boost. And that help your body boost it all together. You know, like if you have
or the absorption of like the right nutrients. Like calcium needs magnesium to absorb. So you can eat calcium all day, but if you didn't have any magnesium, it ain't going nowhere.
And
like
iron needs vitamin
C. It's going to turn to waste. Yeah. So like a lot of vitamin. So like if you eat a piece of fruit or a vegetable, it has like the supporting nutrients to actually absorb and be utilized in the body. But if you just go, here, I'm just going to take this vitamin C packet that if it doesn't have magnesium in it, then it's not, or not magnesium. Okay. Whatever you said.
Oh,
what
iron.
Did you say earlier? Iron. I forgot it. But it's late here. It's 2 a.m. for me. Just so everybody knows, like, if she's all over the place, she's sleepy. No. So, but yeah, I just wanted to reiterate that, like getting it from the natural food source, like whole foods, like it's already going to have the micronutrients necessary to absorb all the nutrients. So if you're getting a supplement, a lot of times supplements aren't even FDA approved. So like, they're not forced to have any of the supporting nutrients to absorb all the other stuff because nobody's watching out for what's actually in it and where those nutrients come from. So like, it's just something to be careful and aware of.
Yeah, definitely look, if you are ever going to use supplements, definitely look for the USP label. That's going to be the regulated one. That's when you know that it's regulated by the FDA and it has what it has on the label in it, which I thought was ridiculous that like they could have a supplement and just be like, here it is, and it doesn't even have what it has in it. Like,
yeah, I promise you're gonna get the biggest muscles ever. And you're gonna run faster than everybody in the land. and it's sand.
Yeah,
flavored
crazy.
It's flavored sand.
So yeah, eat those good carbs for energy, those good proteins for that muscle repair. Eat some fats for energy. Good fats, it's gonna aid in getting all of those vitamins and nutrients where they need to go, minerals everywhere. And don't forget about water. The amazing liquid of life.
Oh, yeah. So here we are. We're going to wrap this up for you really quickly. We got, 9 different things?
11.
So, 11. Number 1, everyone can benefit from strength training. Number 2, focus on incorporating strength training twice a week. Number 3, in order to get stronger, one must either consistently lift heavier and or manipulate the progressions through faster, harder, longer, or more repetition movements. So, number 4, you're never too old to benefit tremendously from strength training. Don't you forget it. Number 5, it is rare that strength training will make you too big if the strength training plan matches the goal of the individual and the diet. Number 6, you don't need a gym membership to get stronger. There are many forms of exercises that you can benefit from to get stronger. That can be performed absolutely anywhere. Number 7, remember, strength training will be vital as you age, and the quality of life you can endure will rely on the muscular training you're doing now and the preservation of the muscle focus you utilize within it. So use it or lose it. Remember that. And Danny, take us away in the nutrition portion.
Yes. Last little bit. Number 8, 1.2 to 1.6 grams protein per kilograms of body weight to maintain, and 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight to build, broken up evenly throughout the day, all meals, snacks throughout the day. Number 9, eat 200 to 500 calories, 30 to 60 minutes before the workout. Listen to your bodies, guys. Number 10, eat to refuel 15 to 30 minutes afterwards. And number 11, stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. So I want to thank everybody so much for being here with Danny and I. This is our longest episode. We might even break it up in 2 just so you can have 2 to part 1 and part 2 because we're at 1 hour and 23 minutes, which is crazy, which is awesome that we can sit here and talk to you together that long on week 9?
Yep.
Or episode 9. This is great. But thank you so much for listening. And we are very appreciative and grateful for all the support that you give us. And I hope we're getting better and better and progressing too in this world because we just want to teach all of you guys so much and we have so much to give and we are so grateful in our hearts and our soul and everything that we got that you are here supporting us on our future. So thank you so much and we can't wait to see you next week. Woo! Bye!
I Pick Fit. Thank you for listening to I Pick Fit podcast.
If you liked our show and want to know more, go to either ipickfit.com or she'ssustainable.com.
Please leave a review on iTunes and subscribe to our channel.
Feel free to email us anytime with any questions or topics of interest at ipickfitdanielle@gmail.com. iPickFit.